I don't know if you've heard about the concept of dopamine detox, what it is, and why is it important, and why does it make your life worse at first. Hi, I am Girivesh Yadav, and this is my channel. I post psychology and self-improvement related content, which you can use to improve your life as well. Dopamine detox. What is dopamine? It is a molecule that is responsible for your happiness and pleasures. Mostly that, and we'll get into the more details in some of the video, but mainly it's responsible for the happiness and pleasure of your life. If you've eaten your favorite chocolate, you feel you feel good. That's because of the molecule dopamine. It is released by your brain to understand that I like this thing and I don't like this thing. Detox. If you wanna detox from anything, be it calories, be it dopamine, or be it just anything. Detox mean clearing your whatever. If you're doing like a health detox, you're clearing your body of waste food and clearing your veins, arteries, or organs, or food pipes, and etc. That is called, what health deep detox means, just removing the waste, removing excess of anything. And in dopamine detox, what happens is we remove the excess dopamine or the excess effects of dopamine, and that is just called dopamine detox. What we essentially do in this is, for example, my personal dopamine is uh, dopamine source is phone, social media, games. It used to be games, but now it's uh, mainly social media. So if I want to do a dopamine detox, I'll either reduce or completely end my my social media usage for however long I'm doing it, or whatever my plan is according to that. So if I cut it, and for the first day of any detox, it's very easy. It feels like you know like a butter through knife. No, like a knife through butter, but like a piece of cake actually. But the second day, it makes your life worse, because I've felt this over and over and over in my life, that you have a certain quota of dopamine that you need to fill in your daily life, that you've built over this period of your life. For example, I use about or around, let's say, 2 hours of social media. That gives me 2 hours of dopamine. Okay, if I don't fulfill those 2 hours of dopamine, right? If I haven't uh, taken 2 hours of dopamine on that day, it won't feel as much, but the next day you will feel something empty, right? Because that is whether good or bad, that is for you to decide, but it is a part of your life and your day and your routine. If you don't experience that part, that part of your brain, it will feel empty. So it makes your life worse, because now everything seems boring. When you experience dopamine uh in excess, of course, uh and it feels amazing. But when you do cut it out of your life, it feels like there's an empty space, just like I said. And you feel boring, because what? My brain is so messed up today, I can't even. properly think and put thoughts in order. It makes your life more boring because when you remove dopamine, and nowadays we have this excess of dopamine, so the normal life without stimulation, if I'm looking at my room without a background music, without having cuts like they show in edits, right? Having clip cuts and transition effects and background music and filters, and if I don't have all of that in my real life, and if I just look at my room like this, like the raw reality it is, it feels boring. It's very pretty simple and pretty basic of an idea. So this is the key concept I want to tell you, that it will feel boring, not because you are doing something wrong, not because uh, it's harming you, not because of any other reason. It is just because you've cut out a old part of your lifestyle and you're making room for new one, and that room currently is very empty. You need to work and build and fill that room with new exciting things. And I hope that cheers you up and motivates you to do a dopamine detox, because in our generation, in this new modern life, everything is so stimulated. Our brain has lost its ability to think, to remember, to evaluate, to analyze all these things. And I feel this in my daily life. And the fact that it hurts the most is that I've known this for over 3-4 years now. I've experienced this over and over again, that I used to be such a smart kid. I still am, but that smartness isn't being used. If a sword isn't sharpened, it's it's getting dull, evil, every second. So personally, my brain sword is in its you know whatever the cover is called, and it's not being very used as it should. I have to use it if I want to sharpen it. So can you. And in order to do that, to get your sword out of the cover, that the process of getting it out is dopamine detox. If I want to put it into analogy, your sword is in cover, right? And that cover is all the distractions. And when you the process of taking the sword out of the cover is called dopamine detox. Now you have the sword. If you use it, that is putting in the hard work, learning, and improving your mental capabilities. The sharpest sword sword is sharpened, and now you have a sword ready to fight. So yeah, that is a little analogy right there. You can research more about dopamine detox on YouTube. There's many videos, but most important one is Andy Huberman's podcast on dopamine, about the molecule, and he completely dissects the concept and the science behind it for everyday common people. So it is very easy to understand for everyday or everyone. Yeah, take care of yourself. I'll meet you in the next one. I post psychology and self-improvement content. Do subscribe if you want to. Take care of yourself.